250, we're gonna do it live. We're gonna, have a live audience. It's gonna be fun. Kind of like the 200, which was the most fun I've ever had in a live podcast recording. But after 250, what's happening, Phil?
I got shit to do. You got shit to do. So the podcast is going to go on a hiatus so we can move on to bigger and better things. And we'll come back when we need to, when we got stuff to talk about, when we got people to showcase. But for the time being, you and me got bigger and better fish to fry.
I wouldn't say bigger and better, because this was fun. This was like one of the best things I ever decided to do in my life ever. I don't know about you guys, but this is like one of the things. I think this helped my comedy career more than anything, more than doing stand-up. Like, this has been like the most, it's gotten me opportunities. It's gotten me all kinds of stuff. And I'm grateful like for this. And I don't want it to be like we're ending it, but we are going to end the streak. We have a longer streak than The Undertaker.
That's true. We're going to have 250 uninterrupted episodes. 200. Never missed episodes. A week in 5 years. That's
a long time. That's 5 years of your life that we've sacrificed, just making sure we didn't. It was stressful the last few months to try to find. We're like nomads right now.
Yeah. Well, to kind of peel the curtain back, the show has always been stressful.
Yeah.
Because
that's true.
These are 12-hour days for us. We get here at 9 a.m. We're shooting all day. We don't leave until 9 at night.
Specifically you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. No shade. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but it's 12-hour days for us, and then I got to edit this shit afterwards. So it's a lot of work. And we have to get 4 or 5 episodes done every time.
Yeah.
So when guests cancel last minute, we got to just scramble and pull an episode out of thin air because we don't want to fall behind.
I want to keep the entertainment going. The show must go on.
So, but yeah, and you and me definitely have had the work ethic to keep this show going. That's why we hit 250 episodes.
The work ethic. I don't know about the stamina now. We're getting older.
I mean, that's why every week I got my sugar-free monsters here.
I think I wanted to do it, and it's a weird thing where like I did it already. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to be with the microphone and interviewing people, and now that I did it for 5 years, it's like, okay, cool, I did it.
Yeah. Well, that's
not that I don't want to do it again.
No, I get it. But that's almost like do you know who the Doors are, the band?
Yes,
Jim Morrison. The Doors.
Yeah.
They did they did the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson one time, and they were told not to perform. I think it's like Light My Fire.
Right. Yeah.
Because the lyrics were like questionable,
and
they did it anyway.
Yeah.
And then
I know the story.
Johnny Carson got pissed and was just like, "You'll never do the Tonight Show again." And they were like, "Well, we already did the Tonight Show."
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel in a way. I wanted to have my own podcast, and I did. And then, I'm not saying we're going to go away completely, because I think we learned a new skill, I would say. Yeah. I didn't think this would be helpful. It's definitely helpful. I use this for like everyday life, like everything I've learned from podcasting, with just being a better listener whenever someone's telling me stuff, being in an active conversation, going back and forth and not just repeating. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's made me a better communicator, and I've used that for like my jobs now. I've used it for comedy, and it taught me a lot about networking and trying to
definitely.
Yeah. So,
well, like because you and me were talking about this before we were setting up. It's kind of like how TV has changed over the years. Because back in the day, a season of TV was 22, 25, sometimes 28 episodes. Not all of them are going to be bangers, because you got to crank out 26 episodes every season. Some of them are just going to be filler. Some of them are just going to be, we got to hit that number, whatever. We just got to crank something out. Whereas now TV shows are like 8 episodes, 10 episodes,
9 episodes for Stranger Things. I think the latest season that they had, like, that's an example.
Yeah. But when you have shorter seasons like that, you can put more energy into them, and every episode has to hit. You can't have filler episodes. You can't.
And they're not all going to be bangers.
Episodes. So.
They're not all going to be bangers. And I'll say that right now. Not every Voice Party episode has been a banger.
Yeah, because a lot of times
we've had some crappy ones.
A lot of times we're like, fuck, we need to find 4 guests for this Sunday.
Yep.
And a lot of times, we've had some great guests. We've had some not so great guests. There's some guests who've been back multiple times because they're really reliable.
Yep.
There's some times where it's like, shit, somebody canceled who lives nearby. Hey, you want to come through? I know we don't have anything to talk about, but we have to record an episode.
Yeah, it's like, I will say this, sometimes it does feel, and I'm not saying anything bad about any guests or anything like that. You know, the guests, I'm grateful to anyone that came out, but I noticed in myself when I get tired of telling the same jokes, and I want to do new jokes now, you know, and that's how this feels a little bit. Not saying that I don't enjoy doing this. It just, it's like telling old jokes over and over and over. And like, I want to do something different now.
Yeah.
And I've had this, like, we made some money from this, you know, we've met a lot of people through this, you know. I wouldn't have been doing these, like, last few things I've been doing if it wasn't for this. So I'm always going to be grateful for this. And I'm not saying I hate this or anything like that. I just, I think it's time to do something new.
Yeah.
You know?
Cause I mean, it is stressful making this happen.
Yeah.
And having to pull 4 episodes.
And we've been putting up with the stress. We've been putting up with the stress. We've been putting up with, you know, the expenses that it takes to make this. That's another thing too. I just don't have it in me no more to like finance. I'm sure you for the same. It's getting more expensive in the Bay Area.
It's getting very expensive.
It's not bringing in money.
I've talked about how I need a new camera. I've talked about how, you know, setting these cameras up are a pain in the ass because they're just like, they're not meant for podcasting. And so like, I got to use these stupid fucking dongles to adapt every single camera to my ATEM.
Yeah.
And micro HDMI is super fragile. And so just getting all the cameras to work without cutting out is a pain in the ass. But I can't afford to buy new cameras because that's money. You know, bought the new board. Love the new board. Yeah. Bought the ATEM. Love the ATEM.
And we're still going to use it. Right.
I mean, yeah, I spent all this money. I'm getting my goddamn money's worth.
All right, cool. I just want to make sure we're still going to use it. We're still gonna be around. Just we're gonna end the streak, and we don't know when we're coming back. We're gonna come back with first. We gotta finish our film, which we've talked about many times, and it's getting annoying. People asking, and I know it's my fault. I'm the one to blame. I'll be honest.
The film does say directed by JDR and Diaz, so it does.
Jesus Christ,
buck does stop with you.
That. It's like Peter Jackson wants another Lord of the Rings coming out, you know? I think that's one of the main focuses once we step away sounds weird, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I get it because like we got to finish your film.
Yeah.
Which is going to need some work.
Yeah.
I'm starting work on my next film. That's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so we only have so much energy we can spread around considering we still got to work day jobs in order to pay that thing called rent.
Yeah.
So,
which, if you like that clip, please hit the like button and subscribe to the Voice Party Podcast. We release new episodes every Monday.